Pokemon tournaments are not easy. I have made 7 different day 2s across 7 different tournaments. And in this video, I am going to show you the 7 habits that have got me there. I'm not only going to tell you the 7 different things that I did, but actually give you each day 2 I made and what was the habit that got me there. And what did I learn along the way? That if you are watching this right now and you have goals of making your very first day 2, or your second day 2, or your 10th day 2, or a top cut. By the way, in this list of day 2s, I have 3 top cuts. This video is for you. If you care about getting better at VGC, this video is for you. If you want to sit on stage like I did in front of thousands of people and battle on stream in the top 8, this video is for you. If you want to go to the Pokemon World Championships just like I did, this video is for you. So let's get right into the video, okay? Number 1, my very first day 2 was in Orlando. Orlando 2023. The tournament that Wolf Glick won with a Perish Song team. Fun fact, if I won my first 2 matches in day 2, I would have been able to play him there. And guys, making my first day 2 was the most insane experience ever. The habit that I learned was that you only should be playing on Pokemon Showdown or Best of 3. You're gonna say, well, Darsh, how does that habit relate to that? Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, before this happened, I used to play exclusively on the Pokemon ranked ladder. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, in Pokemon Scarlet Violet, I only used to play Best of 1 ladder because I wanted to climb. I wanted to be number 1 Master Ball tier. But the second I started playing only on Best of 3 Pokemon Showdown, every single thing changed. I had a team of Palafin, Amoonguss, Grimmsnarl, Goldango, Iron Hands, and Pelipper. And that team, I played exclusively on Pokemon Showdown. And the practice was insane. I climbed higher than I ever did. I got so much better quality practice. And not even counting that, I actually met my friend Diego. Also, congratulations to you, Diego, if you're watching this video, because you just got engaged, bro. And I met Diego years ago. He's one of my first friends that I met playing this game. I'm not even kidding. Before the Orlando Regionals, I was in my apartment by myself, struggling with my first job outside of college. And I was playing my games. And I was playing against someone else who's using a rain team with Palafin. And I beat him, and he said, oh, can you show me more about your team? Can I Discord message you? So I said, I don't have that many friends at the time. I said, sure. Not only did Pokemon Showdown give me insane practice, but it gave me a new friend. Someone that I could actually practice with, get better with. And not only did I practice with this player, but he helped me play on Pokemon Showdown and make my first day 2. Guys, I went 8-2 in day 1. My first day 2, I finished in the top 32 players out of the biggest Pokemon tournament that ever was at the time being, okay? The first thing I will tell you is play Pokemon Showdown instead of Pokemon Best of 1 ladder. The reason is that you will actually get higher quality preparation because real tournaments are held in that exact same format. So why would you be playing in a format like Best of 1 or closed team sheet that is not conducive to your success in the Pokemon tournament level, especially if you want to make day 2, right? Like, that makes no sense, okay? My second ever day 2 was the very next tournament in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I call the next thing whiteboarding it. Darsh, what does whiteboarding it mean? A lot of my friends all know what this is. My coaching group, the Day 2 Collective, know what this is. But my original friend group that I made after Orlando and right before it knows what this is. I call it whiteboarding it. It's writing down every common team literally on a whiteboard. If you guys can see here, I have a whole big whiteboard over there. I have a mini whiteboard here. Members of my coaching group actually bought a whiteboard for their birthday gift, which I think is so funny. But that's awesome. Shout out to you, hacker. My advice to you is get a whiteboard, guys. Write down every single common strategy on that whiteboard and how you matched up against it. For me, back in the time, it was Pokemon VGC Regulation B, and I wanted to use Maushold and Goldango. So I wrote down Maushold and Goldango, and I wrote down every popular team. Sandy Shocks, Espathra, what was it? It was Palafin Rain. It was Indeedee, Armarouge, Dondozo, Tatsugiri. I wrote down every single Mouse Ape. I wrote down every single common pairing. And then I saw all of this. Okay, this mouse local thing will beat this. And I went one by one by one by one by one. Everything it did not beat, I put the rest of my team towards doing it. Guys, in the Knoxville tournament, you're not going to believe this. I made day 2, but I started 7-0. I was once the #1 seed in the tournament, and I had the craziest Pokemon on my team. I had Mousehold, Goldango. I was the only Salamence that made it better than 5-3. I was the only one. I had Stonejourner on my team. I was one of 2 players in the whole tournament who had Stonejourner. I had Fluttermane, and I had Palafin again. So I had Mousehold, Goldango, Palafin, Stonejourner, Fluttermane, and Salamence. That's a crazy team. I went 7-0 to 7-1, and I finished in the top 32. Okay, and what did I learn? At that point, I learned to use Pokemon Showdown. And then in the next tournament, what I just talked about, I learned how to whiteboard everything. The whole logic behind this is that Pokemon VGC is a puzzle. And when you can see all of the roadblocks and obstacles in front of you, it allows you to create intentional plans on how to get there. Okay, and I go over this in a 30-day challenge. Comment the word 30 or the number 30 if you want me to send you my 30-day personal challenge that gets you growing in Pokemon VGC. I'll send it to you, and you will make your first day 2. I promise. Someone in my day 2 collective right now, my coaching group, has made day 2 doing this, and he let me know that. Okay, shout out to you, Sam, the GOAT, Sam Kagami. Okay, number 3 is my third day 2 is a Charlotte VGC Regional Championships, and this taught me something very abstract. Again, sorry for my handwriting, which is loving the game. This tournament was extremely personal for me, okay? It had to do with my grandpa dying, my best friend since I grew up. I was actually going to go to the tournament before this in San Antonio, okay? About a month before this. I was going to go watch LeBron James versus Victor Wembanyama's rookie year. I had already bought my tickets. I had already booked my Airbnb. I was going to San Antonio. That very week, my grandmother passed away. I never experienced a grandparent passing, so I didn't go to the tournament, okay? 1 month later, I'm not even kidding, and before I go to Charlotte Regionals, my grandpa passed away. My best friend since I was a kid. It had me in shambles, I'm not gonna lie. But he was the one who taught me to follow my passions. He was the one, I don't mean to get emotional, he was the one that taught me how to draw, how to love the game. He was the one who I played Pokemon at his house on the DS for the first time. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to this tournament. I haven't made day 2 in a couple of events before this. I couldn't attend regionals before this. But I decided to hit up my friends. Shout out to Rushil Thakur, Konkuldonk. Shout out to Joey. Shout out to Chirayu, some of the guys that I stayed with at the time. Shout out to Marcos, Moxie Boosted, my good friend that I went out with the night. And I started off 2-2, okay? I played against Nails, Nick Navarre. He beat me pretty well. And I was 2-2, and I was like, you know what? There's nothing here for me. But I'm here because I don't want to be at home and be miserable. So what I did was I put on my headphones. I went to a room between every round, and I remembered my grandpa. I'm not even kidding. It's like I could see him in the room with me, walking with the kid. I was crying between every single round, but I was doing it for him. I'm not kidding. I won 7-2? I went 5 straight sets I won in a row from 2-2 to 7-2, and I literally was I could not believe it. I'm still shocked even talking about it. I had the tournament of my life. I was playing so well. It was amazing. I was so proud of myself. That night, many people know me for getting too sauced, and I actually went out to party that night, and I actually was the only player who did not wake up in time to play in day 2. So people call me Mr. Day 1.5, but no one really knows this story. But I'm sharing this because my grandpa passed away, and what that taught me, again, part of the story, which is the habit, is that I learned to love the game. You have to love the game. And it was a reminder for me to come and compete because I love the game. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't in the right headspace, but I loved this game. And having that habit of loving the game, obviously on top of the other good prep that we talked about, it will take you to day 2, or for my case, day 1.5. So at that point, I was okay, I'm getting better. But between this number 3 and number 4, I actually stopped playing VGC for 9 months. Life got busy. Life got in the way. My biggest regret is quitting, to be honest. But I came back because of my friends, okay? And that's the habit of number 4. Day 2 in the Toronto VGC Regional Championships, where, guys, not only did I make day 2, I beat Wolf Glick, the eventual winner of the tournament. I beat him 2-0 in Swiss. I sat on stream. I made my first ever top 8. and I made $1,000 playing Pokemon VGC. Guys, it felt like a dream come true. After 9 months, my first tournament back, not even counting local tournaments, was this, a top 8 performance. Like, if that is not crazy, then I don't know what is. And that only happened because I had good friends. That's the habit. But what did they do for me is that I had good friends for my preparation, for the actual going to the tournament, and then for motivation, okay? So in preparation, I decided I'm going to go to the event. I came up with this team, Mousehold, Goldango, my core. The very first team that got me to 7-0 at any other tournament at Knoxville Regionals. I brought it back for this tournament. I brought back Palafin, the Pokemon I used to day 2, my first 2 regionals. I brought back Palafin, and then I switched it out for Rain. I was like, I'll keep the Rain. I dropped Palafin, I kept Pelipper, and I built a Rain team with Mousehold and Goldango. Just like Knoxville, I started off 7-0. Just like Orlando, I made day 2. Like, it's crazy. And along that journey, I prepped with my friends. I was practicing matchups with my good friends who gave me ideas to do Dragonite over Palafin, keep Pelipper, go with a Kylodon max speed with Snarl. My friends helped me prep. But my friends also helped me go to the tournament. Shout out to Kevin and a lot of my friends from this New Jersey scene. They were the ones who told me to go to Toronto Regionals. It wasn't my decision. I was like, guys, I'm too busy. I can't compete. I quit. I'm focusing on life. I feel like life is passing me by. But I forgot that I love this game. I care deeply about it. Even though my parents didn't support me, my career didn't want me to do this, I love the game. And I've done well, and I have big dreams. I'm sure all of you have dreams of making day 2 and making top cut and winning the tournament. I had the same dreams, but I got clouded in life. My friends not only helped me prep, they told me to go. And then lastly, they were my motivation. My friend group from New Jersey stood with me every single round in day 2, all the way from all 3 rounds of Swiss to my top 32 to my top 16 and in the audience in the top 8. They were with me. So my advice to you is, one habit you have to realize is having good friends is important. Find your community. Find your people, whether it's at your local tournaments, whether it's at these regionals, whether it's online. Like, I met Diego playing Pokemon Showdown. Whether it's in the day 2 collective that I personally have a small group of guys that I coach. Like, find your community. Find your group. It will take you all over the world, and it'll feel like you're dreaming out loud and you're like not in it alone. You feel like you're Ash Ketchum with Brock and Misty and the gang. It really feels like that, okay? After that tournament, I made another day 2, okay? This was in the Milwaukee VGC Regional Championships, where I'm not even kidding, guys. I made another top 8, bro. I was like, oh my God, bro, I'm actually nasty at this game. I made another top 8. But this one is not an emotional habit, okay? This one is an actual strategic habit that you should learn. Is that you should stick with one strategy, okay? If you guys know at this point, I love Grimmsnarl. At this point, I made Grimmsnarl day 2 a few times. I think 3 or 4 day 2s with Grimmsnarl. I think 2 day 2s with Grimmsnarl before this. And I was cooking, guys, and I was cooking. So I decided, in this regulation, I've been using Miraidon for a while, so I'm going to stick with Miraidon and with Grimmsnarl and Miraidon, okay? And that's what I did. I was the highest Grimmsnarl Miraidon specs placement. The guy who beat me was also using Grimmsnarl Miraidon. Of course he was. Andrew Ding, I'm going to get you back next time. But dude, I stuck with one team, one strategy. I stuck with comfort. Guys, I'm the biggest advocate for using the same team. Guys, imagine one day playing basketball, then one day playing soccer, then one day doing something else. Let's take Pokemon. If you're playing Hyper Offense one day, Slow Trick Room one day, Dondozo one day, you're not going to be the best player. Unless you're Michael Kelch and you're just talented and this is your life. If you're like me and you're a busy person. You don't have the time for that. You cannot master all the elements. You are not the avatar. Neither am I. So I defined my one strategy. It's Grimmsnarl doing damage behind screens. That was my comfort, and that's what made me day 2. Guys, and I'm not going to lie, after that, I made a day 2 in my next 2 tournaments in a row, starting with Portland, okay? Portland's habit that changed my entire perspective was the mini regionals and good preparation. I'm a really busy person. I'm sure you guys are at home, whether it's with school, whether it's with having a full-time job. Some of the guys that I work with have wives, have kids. One of the guys in my coaching group, shout out to you, Mirth, he's like 3 or 4 kids. Jerry has a kid. Like, we have busy lives. I know someone who has in college and has 2 jobs while he's in college. But we still play Pokemon because we love this game. So what I have to do is create a preparation system that allows me to stay sharp. Me, myself, I had a full-time job. I started doing YouTube. I have a girlfriend. I started working on strategy and coaching. I had to move out of my house to find an apartment. I don't have time. I don't know where I found time. So I created a system that's worked for me in the past because I was doing it the whole time. But this system is what carried me. Guys, all you have to do is I call it a mini regional. You use the Pokemon Showdown habit that you learned in the very beginning. Only play a Pokemon Showdown. Play 8 best of 3s on Pokemon Showdown. Recreate the experience of a real tournament at home. Do that every other day. Review your matches in between those days. And you will only be playing for an hour around a day. And you'll be getting so much better. That's what I did. Okay, and I go into a way more depth into my badge challenge. Again, comment the number 30 if you want me to send you my 30-day challenge to get you to day 2, okay? I will send it to you. But having that mini regional preparation system allowed me to stay locked in and focused and make it to a top cut winning in where I ended up losing to my roommate, Blake Silver, bro, where we talked about the matchup and how he had the matchup. I played 2 of his team building buddies. I lost to one, Kerry Diortona, who made top 4. Guys, my only losses in that tournament were to Kyogre, and it was the same team. What am I supposed to do? Okay, what am I supposed to do? But I still made top 32, okay, because of this system. The last one is my favorite one. I day 2 the North American International Championships, and this habit I call stupid self-belief. If you guys know me, I have the McFree mentality. People try to say, what does McFree mean? Why does everyone keep saying the McFree Mafia? The McFree mentality is having belief in yourself that every opponent is not someone who's better than you and that you should be anxious and nervous and afraid, but that they are an opportunity for you to show who you are. Okay? I had stupid self-belief. In this tournament, I beat some of the best players in the world, and I beat the eventual champion, Federico Camporesi, maybe the best player in Europe. If you guys didn't notice, in this tournament, in Toronto, I beat Wolf Glick, maybe the best player of all time. In Milwaukee, I beat Joseph Ugarte, maybe the top USA player right now. And then at NAIC, I also beat the winner, Federico Camporesi. Okay, I've been beating the best players. Why? Because I have this thing called stupid self-belief. Where does that come from? One, it's showing myself that I can do these things, and I'm actually putting in the prep, I'm learning, I'm figuring it out, and that I can do it. 2 is I have a little routine, okay? My bonus little habit that I do is that every tournament, between every single match, I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, I listen to music, I hype myself up, okay? That's what I do. If you follow these systems that I'm trying to tell you, these habits that I've learned, now at every single tournament that I go to, like Vegas and NAIC coming up, I practice only a Pokemon Showdown. I whiteboard every single matchup. I truly love the game. I hang out and practice and get motivated by my great friends. I stick with my one strategy. I find my mini regional method because I have a full-time job. I'm apartment touring. I'm coaching a community. I'm building a YouTube channel. Guys, I have my first editor coming up soon. My first edited videos that are going to be butter are coming soon. And then I have stupid self-belief. I'm like, what you really learn in this whole process is where to prep, how to be happy, how to make new friends, how to find your main strategy, how to have good time management, how to build real confidence, and how to dream or at least chase your dream, okay? Like, guys, this is how I am where I am now. This is how I got there. And this is all the lessons I learned along the way. And I share this because I want you to make your first day too. The reason I even do coaching now, and I have a community, is I made it known to everyone that I would exchange a day 2 if everyone that I work with or everyone who watches this video can achieve their first day 2. I want you guys to be like me and have 7 day 2s, 3 top cuts, $3,000, a world championships invitation. Guys, this can be you. I am just like you. I am no one special. I'm a normal person with a full-time job who lives in his parents' basement, who's trying to follow his dreams, okay? If I can do it, so can you with these 7 habits, all right? And if you want to know how to even at least build a team to start this process, watch this video. And if you want to watch me explain my 30-day challenge, then watch this one. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.